Okay, there's no directions on this problem or no question is being asked, so I'm going to assume that you're supposed to be graphing this piecewise function. And it is a piecewise function because the domain, or the x-axis, is divided into pieces, two pieces. One where x is greater than 0, which would be along here, and another piece where x is less than or equal to 0, which would be to the left of the y-axis. And we're supposed to use different rules for each piece. So for the piece that's greater than 0, we want to use the rule the opposite of x plus 3. Well, if you consider graphing that line, it has a y-intercept of 3, which is right here, and a slope of -1, which means over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1. So there's the graph of the entire line, y equals -x plus 3. But we're only supposed to use that piece, that rule, when x is greater than 0. So we actually should have an open circle right here for that piece. And then that's the graph that we use to the right of 0. So the red line, the red ray. And likewise, for the piece that where x is less than or equal to 0, we use the line y equals 2x plus 3. Same y-intercept. This time, the open circle gets filled in. And we only use the piece of this second green line to the left of 0. So that's right here. So if you're doing this on your own graph paper, you could lightly sketch in the green lines and then darken in the lines that are the pieces that matter, and then maybe erase them. Or anyway, there's the final graph like that. And here's what it looks like on Desmos. And I'm just bringing this to your attention so that you can see on Desmos you can graph piecewise functions. The syntax is a little bit different. You first state the rule. I'm the piece of the domain, separating the rule with a colon, and then there's -x plus 3. So that's this array right here. And then a comma. And then you do the next piece. So there's the piece of the domain for the second rule, x is less than or equal to 0, colon, and there's the rule, 2x plus 3. And of course, you could have as many pieces as you want. But there you go. Hope that helped. By the way, if you had to find f of, let's say, 3, for example, you have to decide which rule to use. So that's the other question they might have asked for this problem. When x is equal to 3, that means we're using this rule because 3 is greater than 0. So f of 3 means the opposite of 3 plus 3 or 0. On the other hand, what's f of -7, for example? Well, -7 is less than 0, so we would use this rule, 2x plus 3. So that'd be 2 times -7, -14 plus 3, -11. And I could plot that point down here. -7, -11 is probably down there somewhere. But there you go. Hope that helped. Hope that cleared up how a piecewise function is graphed. And if you have any questions, post a comment.